Hello, my little younglings. Today we are going to enter the wild, wild world of animals. Yes, I know we all love animals and they are so nice, they are so good. So today let's enter the animal kingdom and learn what we can about them. Now, animals are found everywhere on earth. They may be found in forests, they are found in mountains, they are found in deserts, oceans, and even in places of human habitations. Hey, we even have animals in our home. So, animals are vastly different in their appearance, size, habits, and features. On one hand, you have a tiny, tiny, tiny animal like a rabbit, and on the other hand, you have a huge animal like an elephant. On the one hand, you have a meat eater like a lion or a tiger, and on the other hand, you have a grass eater like a horse or a cow. So, let's learn about them. Animals can be classified in various different ways. Those classifications can be made on the basis of food habits, habitat. Habitat means where the animal live, body temperature, hours of activity, presence or absence of the backbone. So let's start exploring each of these classification one by one. Now, first of all, let's see the classification of animals according to their food habits. Animals that hunt and eat other animals are known as carnivores. These animals have long, sharp teeth for tearing and ripping flesh. Lions, sharks, tigers, alligators, snakes, cheetahs, leopards, wolves, hyenas, these are the examples of carnivores. On the other hand, herbivores primarily eat plants as food. So basically, carnivores are non-vegetarians and herbivores are vegetarians. They have flat teeth mainly for grinding and chewing food. Animals that eat both plants as well as animals are known as omnivores. For example, some humans also, they eat meat also and they eat vegetables also. So this is known as omnivores. Human beings and bears are examples of omnivores. Herbivores or omnivores can also be frugivorous animals. Now, the diet of frugivorous consists mainly of fruits. Some animals, they only eat fruits, so they are frugivorous animals, like monkeys. They like to eat fruits which grow on the trees. Scavengers. Scavengers are animals that eat the remains of dead animals. So basically, they are also eating meat like carnivores, but they do not hunt and eat their meat. They find that meat, that is, or those animals that are already been killed by some other animals, and then they eat the dead animals. They are equipped with strong jaws or hooked beaks that are used to tear out the meat from the dead animals. Hyenas and vultures are scavengers. Parasites. Now, parasites are the organisms, or they are the tiny insects that live in or on other organisms. For example, we have ticks, like our dogs get ticks or lice. They stick on the dog and they try to suck the blood out of the dog. Now, they are dependent on their host or food to carry out all life functions, to live, to grow, to multiply. Parasites derive nutrition by sucking food and nutrients from the host body. Tapeworms and lice are examples of parasites. Now, you know what is a tapeworm? Now, tapeworm is a parasite. Let me show you what a tapeworm looks like. Now, this tapeworm is a parasite that gets into the stomach of a human beings and try to eat the food inside our stomach. So, they look like these. So, whenever somebody gets a tapeworm in their stomach will pain a lot, and this tapeworm try to eat the food out of human stomach. So these are parasites. And we also have humans also have parasites known as lice. Now what lice does, lice get stuck on the head of the human beings and they try to drink the blood from the head. Do you know that even coronavirus is also a parasite? Because a virus is a parasite. Virus does not have a body of its own. A virus does not hunt on its own. It gets inside a host. Like for example, coronavirus will get inside a human being. COVID-19 will get inside a human being and will try to get food from the human being. So this is how a virus is also a parasite. Next, let us learn about the classification according to the habitat. Habitat means where the animals live. Now, first of all, there are aquatic animals. Aquatic animals spend their entire life cycle in the water. They live only in water, they do not come on the land, and if they come on land, they might die. So most aquatic animals breathe with the help of gills. For example, we human beings, we have lungs. Most aquatic animals have gills, but whales and dolphins, these are two animals which breathe through their lungs. Therefore, whales and dolphins are called mammals. They are not called fishes. Fishes, ducks, and turtles are some example of aquatic animals. Terrestrial animals. Now, one more thing before I move forward. Whales and dolphins, even though they live in the sea, they live in the sea all the time, but they have to come to the surface of the sea to breathe because they need to breathe through their lungs. They do not have gills. So just like human beings, we need to breathe the air. We cannot breathe underwater. Dolphins and whales, they also have to come out of the surface of the sea to breathe. That is the reason you can see that dolphins jump out of the sea, or whales jump out of the sea to breathe, and then they go back inside. And that is the reason their nose is on the top of their body. Let me show you where the nose of dolphin is. Nose of dolphin. So, like we saw in that Dubai Atlantis, see, this is where the nose of a dolphin is. So, dolphin has to come out to breathe. So, it comes on the top and then it breathes through its nose and then it goes back. So, this is important for them. Next comes terrestrial animals. Now, we humans, we are terrestrial animals. Terrestrial animals are the animals that live on land. Most terrestrial animals breathe with the help of lungs. Lions, tigers, giraffe, cats, kangaroos, papa are some examples of terrestrial animals. Now, amphibians. Amphibians live in water as well as on land. So, many amphibians begin life with gills and tails, which develop into lungs and legs over time. Frogs, toads, salamanders, and newts are examples of amphibians. Let me show you what a salamander looks like. It looks like a shiny, slimy worm. Salamander. See, this is what a salamander looks like. They are a group of amphibians, and see, these are the different. See, these are the different types of salamanders. So they also live in they are amphibians. They live in the water. Some of them are so pretty. Look at this spotted salamander. Let's move on. Next comes aerial. Aerial animals spend a large part of their lives in air, mostly in the flight. They have hollow bones that make them light. They also have streamlined bodies. So what are the examples of some aerial animals? Let's Google it. Examples of aerial animal. So you can see these birds, then mosquitoes, then these bats, they are all aerial animals. Let's move on. Next comes arboreal animals. Now, do you know that I didn't know about these animal species? My daughter, Novan Sharma, she's a genius. She told me about these animals. Arboreal animals spend most of or all of their time on trees. Koalas, lemurs, flying squirrels, tree sloths, spider monkeys, chameleons are examples of arboreal animals. So, King Julian is basically an arboreal animal. Now, next comes classification of animals according to their body temperatures. There are cold-blooded animals. The cold-blooded animals change their body temperature according to the temperature of the outside environment. They cannot regulate their own body temperature. That is why when it is cold outside, the temperature decreases, and when it is hot outside, the temperature increases. Frogs, fish, and crocodiles are examples of cold-blooded animals. Then we have warm-blooded animals. Now, warm-blooded animals have a constant body temperature that does not vary with the environment. All mammals, including humans, such as lions, tigers, and elephants are warm-blooded animals. Next comes classification according to the hours of activity. Now, most mammals and birds are active during the day and inactive during the night. Such animals are called diurnal animals. Now, nocturnal animals are the animals that sleep during the day and they have enhanced night vision, so which makes it possible for them to be active during the night. Owls and bats and wolves are nocturnal animals. Now, classification of animals according to the presence of their backbone. Animals with backbones are known as vertebrates. Like we humans, we are vertebrates. They have an internal skeleton system made up of bones. They breathe with lungs or gills. They move with fins or legs. Vertebrates also have heads with brains that are part of a nervous system. They have sense organs such as eyes and nose. These animals include primates such as monkeys, human beings, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and fish. Animals that do not have a backbone are known as invertebrates. Insects, worms, snails, and spiders are invertebrates. Now, let's learn about a fact. About 95% of fish have skeletons made of bones. These bony fishes have a swim bladder or a gas-filled sac that can be inflated or deflated, allowing them to float in water even when not swimming. Fish which have skeletons made of cartilage do not have a swim bladder. They must swim constantly to keep afloat. So, this is a very interesting fact about fishes. Now, let's see the characteristics of these vertebrates. So, fishes, they have a streamlined body, they have backbones, they have a skeletal system made up of either bone or cartilage. They reproduce by laying eggs, they live in water and use fins to swim. Gills allow them to breathe in water. Amphibians, they are cold-blooded in amphibians, they are cold-blooded in hot climates. Amphibians hibernate during the winter months. Their offsprings hatch out of eggs. They live in water as well as on land. Amphibians breathe with the help of gills, lungs, the lining of the mouth, or a combination of these. Next comes reptiles. They are cold-blooded. Their body temperature depends on the temperature of their environment. Their offsprings hatch out of eggs, mostly live on land, and have scaly skin. Most reptiles breathe through lungs. Some reptiles can also absorb oxygen in water through the membranes in their mouth. Birds. Birds are warm-blooded. They have adapted their vertebrate skeleton for flights. Their bones and skull are very thin, making their bodies extremely light. Their young ones hatch from the eggs. The parent birds look after the young hatchlings till they are old enough to survive on their own. And birds are the only animals that have feathers. All birds have wings, however, only some can fly, like an ostrich or a emu or a kiwi cannot fly. Mammals. Mammals are warm-blooded. The females of the species give birth to fully formed babies and produce milk to feed their young ones. They live on land or in water. The bodies of most mammals are covered with hair or fur. So, do you know which mammals live in the water? Hmm. Yes, dolphin and whales, they live in water. In next class, we will start with adaptations. Take care, my little explorers. Goodbye.